If you're confused on all of the ad platforms and how they work, keep watching. What's up, guys? I'm Andrew. I'm a serial entrepreneur, a software engineer, and an ex-junk removal business owner. I started a junk removal business as a stepping stone to return to my passion of technology and apps. I invite you guys to stick around, hang out, follow me on my journey from recently selling my junk removal business to building a billion-dollar home services app to compete with House Call Pro, Jobber, all those guys, called Autopilot, which is coming into beta very soon. Guys, if you want to skip all the intro talk, I'm going to talk about my Discord channel, my private community. I'm going to talk about Autopilot. I'm going to talk about my course. You guys can, of course, skip ahead to the meat and potatoes of the video, but I'd really like you guys to listen because I got a lot of goodies. I also started a Discord channel, guys, where you can reach me 24/7. It's a real-time chat application where you can access me. You can talk to me anytime, ask any questions. I live in my Discord channel. There's over 2,000 like-minded people in this Discord channel that you can talk to who are started the junk removal business or they're doing really good in the junk removal business. And most importantly, you guys can actually DM me, direct message me in my Discord channel. So if you guys want access to me, you want to talk to me, it's completely free. Check the video description down below to join my Discord channel. But also, I want you guys to know I have a private community where you can get access to all of my resources, my pricing sheet, check-in, check-out sheet, daily P&L that I just previously did a video on, employee handbook, the software and services that I use, job interview questions, my Craigslist ad posting, 27 company recordings of other junk removal companies and their sales pitch, and then 100 call recordings of my agents. The list goes on and on. This is a free private community, guys. The link is in the video description down below, or it's school.com/junklaunch. We have to talk about the course really quick. I'm not going to try to sales pitch you too hard, but I want you guys to know I put a lot of work into the course. If you guys need an A to Z guide that covers everything from the legal structure to setting up to hiring employees, setting up call center, running your own ads, all of the marketing. I mean, I go over everything in this course, but here's the crazy fucking kicker right here is you get access to me. You can book as many phone calls as you want throughout the year with me. You can text me, and my course is at extremely low price. I've been running a discount for a while, so if you guys are serious about starting a junk removal business and you want access to me, where you can book phone calls, literally deep dive on any topic you want, and you get 20 hours of content, you get access to everything, check out junklaunchbyjedi.com. There's gonna be more information in the video description below and at the end of the video if you guys are interested in my course. Let's talk about Autopilot. If you are a follower of mine or a subscriber of mine, you know that I've been working on software for a few months now. My software is currently in beta testing. We let 10 people in. If you were not one of those lucky 10 people, please just comment down below or actually go to the website here, autopilotapp.io, apply for beta. We're gonna be letting in another 90 people in the next few weeks. If you don't know what Autopilot is, I am building software, a FSM, field service management tool, alongside with a CRM, customer relationship management tool, kind of merging the two together to give you the best software to run your home services business. We are tailoring towards junk removal companies first, and I am trying to build the best software in the world. If you want to learn more about the software, please just comment down below or go check out the website and hit apply for beta. And yeah, that is Autopilot. All right, guys, there's a lot of advertising platforms out there. You have Google Ads, Google Local Services, which is the Google guaranteed little green check mark. You have Yelp, you have Facebook, you have Thumbtack, Angi's, which are these like lead generators, lead gens. They bring you leads and you pay for the leads. So we're gonna go over those 6 ad platforms. There are many more. I'm gonna try to get you a list of them, but this video here talks about all of the apps that can bring you leads. The reason I decided to make this video is because there's a lot of advertising platforms. So there's multiple ways to get leads. We all probably know Google Ads, we probably know Facebook ads, we probably know Yelp, Thumbtack, but if you're new in this business, or maybe if you're not new and you're just running Google, or maybe you're just doing Yelp, and you just wanna know the rules and how they work, the difficulty, and just a little bit about each ad platform, because every ad platform does work. I've talked to people where Angi's works. I've talked to people where Yelp works, and it's horrible for other people. Google Ads, a lot of people are struggling with Google Ads. It's the most common one. but Google ads do work. Facebook, tons of people it works for them, tons of people it doesn't work for. We're not gonna talk much about Bing, but Bing is also another good one that is kind of on the come up ever since OpenAI, ChatGPT, Microsoft bought a portion of that company, and ChatGPT scours Bing now, and Bing is now getting more traffic, people's getting more recognition and using Bing. But a lot of people just don't know how all these advertising platforms work. They don't know the rules, and this is gonna be a high level on how each platform works. Because at the end of the day, guys, every ad platform works. What I wanted to dive into is how you could make it work for you, high level. When you type in junk removal or free junk removal, I have seen Thumbtack and Angi's run ads for those keywords. So when you hear people in the Facebook groups complain about quality of leads, this is a two-part problem. And I'm gonna start with part one is the leads that are coming in that they're paying for, free junk removal. And then the second part is because they're selling to multiple people, it's a race to the bottom. Let's talk about part one real quick. Angi's, Thumbtack, and I think networks as well. Basically these lead generators where they bring you leads and they sell them to you, multiple people, you're fighting for them, and you have to fight for them on cost and speed. The problem is Angi leads and Thumbtack have a reputation for having lower quality leads. Is part one we're gonna talk about is the leads that they're getting. They're running ads for free junk removal. So number one, you're probably gonna have a handful of people coming into this software, they see the ad on Thumbtack, free junk removal, they download Thumbtack. In their mind, they went into the app thinking from that ad, free, then they finally land into the Thumbtack app. If you've ever seen the consumer side of Thumbtack, I've used Thumbtack a lot. When you search junk removal, it then starts to show the price by pickup truck load, which sucks for us with dump trucks and dump trailers. And I don't know if you know this, but you try to explain to the customer, hey, we don't charge by the pickup truck load, we charge by volume. There's this problem where the consumer navigated from a Google ad seeing free junk removal to then seeing how much is it gonna cost per pickup truck load. Then they start seeing these prices of $100, and $80, $150 per pickup truck load. There's this confusion, right? And then the customer then expects, okay, wait, I thought it was free. Now it's like 80 bucks for a pickup truck load, because there's some people who say 80 bucks for a pickup truck load. Some people's idea of a pickup truck load is straps and loading the shit out of that pickup truck load, fucking all the way to the top and strapping it down. But to you and me, a pickup truck load is literally filling up the pickup truck load to the 2 foot mark. You go over that 2 foot, you're using more space than the pickup truck load that Thumbtack is selling. So there's this confusion for you and the customer, which just brings you lower quality leads. Second, they are selling the lead to 3 people at the same time. The people hustling Thumbtack respond within seconds. And that's what I did. I hustled Thumbtack and I made sure I responded within 10 seconds. You know, that gets into the whole ranking, how high you get ranked and how visible you are and how many, there's a lot of ranking factors. Your profile, your speed of response, and the amount of reviews and jobs completed and whatever factors Thumbtack takes into place. But it's a race to the bottom. And they make it very clear, we're sending you out to 3 customers, maybe 5. So if the customer knows that you are going to be sending your job out to multiple people, it already puts in the customer's mind, okay, well, let's see who's the cheapest price. And I hate to break it to you guys. I know a lot of people in Facebook groups say, your customer doesn't know your value, yada, yada, yada. You need to find high paying customers. Yes, 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 I get that. But at the end of the day, guys, let's not beat around the bush here. We're taking out trash. You can argue, yes, you need skills, and yes, licensed and insured, but everybody is licensed and insured now. Unless you go to Home Depot, no, they're probably not licensed and insured, but I promise you, all of us on this YouTube channel, we're all licensed and insured. Everybody on Google Maps that you Google, probably all licensed and insured, probably uniform. There is nothing that truly separates us. We're all getting the same information from everybody else on YouTube and following the steps, pricing sheet, uniforms, be professional, wrap your truck. What I'm saying, guys, is these customers, you're just taking out their trash. So when it comes to Angi's and Thumbtack, first to respond, and then second, it's being fed to multiple people. I haven't gone through Angi's consumer interface, how a consumer sees it, but I know they sell the leads to multiple people. So now you know why low quality leads come through. They are advertising for free. So you're just naturally getting those shitty leads that come through, expecting free. And then they're selling it to multiple people, which puts in the customer's mind, oh, it's a bidding war. I'm just gonna take the cheapest person. It's trash. It's not a handyman. It can work, but you gotta be fast and you have to be willing to work on price. And this is something that we're all willing to do in the beginning. I did this on Thumbtack and it sucks. You know, you gotta be cheaper, but it's a great way to build up your profile, build up your reviews, build up your skills in this business, talking with customers, learning your charm and your charisma and your sales ability. I would definitely say Thumbtack over Angi's, but I've heard Angi's works, but you gotta be careful because I know Angi's tries to lock you in at a certain amount per month, but I have heard 1 out of 10 people say Angi's works for them. Thumbtack we kind of just talked about, but Thumbtack is pretty much the same. They have a very, very convenient mobile app, right? Where you can just go hire anybody you want and it sends out to multiple people. So you're literally, these other companies will respond within seconds. So you need to respond fast. You need to be very friendly. And then you got to say, hey, I'd love to come take a look. But then the customer's probably going to be like, well, you know, I got 3 to 5 other people. Give me a price. And then you're going to have to like work with price. And it's one of those things where it is difficult and you get charged per lead no matter what with Angi's and Thumbtack. If you don't close that lead, you get charged. And also you got to be very careful with Thumbtack because if they select 5 pickup truck loads, sorry, not 5, you can set it from the last time I looked. I don't know if they've updated it. And you set your pricing and, you know, 1 pickup truck load, $150, and you'll kind of like compare to whatever all the other companies are charging. It'll tell you, and you can be in the same ballpark as them. This is where I do not put a price because it gets wildly expensive. If a lead comes through, they select 4 pickup truck loads, Thumbtack will charge you $100 to $150 because you have your price for 4 pickup truck loads at $500. They'll charge you an astronomical fee and they sell that lead to 3 people. So you want to make sure that you have a cap on what Thumbtack can charge you. And I tend to not put my prices on the 4 or 3 or 2 pickup truck loads. I only put a price on the 1 pickup truck load and try to just talk with the customer through the app and call them immediately. I talk to the customer and explain like, hey, Thumbtack's weird with the pickup truck loads, but guys, it's a race to the bottom. They sell your lead to multiple people, which then in turn already puts in the customer's mind, it is a bidding war. If you are good at sales and willing to negotiate on price and you are fast and you are on your phone, you hear the beep, you're not one of those people who ignores their phone and doesn't respond right away, Thumbtack and Angi's is a great lead source. It is probably one of the easier ones to get into in the beginning. You just got to be careful to not burn your money by doing what I just said. So Angi's, Thumbtack, easy to use. As far as pricing, I'd say medium pricing. And what I mean pricing is what you pay per lead. It's gonna be probably a little bit cheaper than Google, but more expensive than Facebook. So that's Angi's and Thumbtack, guys. Let's move on to Facebook. Facebook is great. Some people have a lot of luck with it. Some people have bad luck with it. I have a video here where I talk about pimping out your Facebook profile. I talk about it a lot, pimping out your YouTube, pimping out your Facebook. First things first, before you run Facebook ads or Facebook campaigns, you need to pimp out your profile. So like if you make a post on Facebook, you put your profile photo, some description, you could then boost that post and it kind of turns it into an ad. You could also just run actual ads. And Facebook is different because if you think about it like this, guys, you have us millennials and boomers even, you have them on this platform kind of just checking things out. I mean, we use it a lot for junk removal and we're very active in the junk removal Facebook group, right? But I'm also on there, used to peek around on my friends and see what my high school friends are up to and just kind of see what's going on in Facebook world. Now it's kind of just overtaken by junk removal because I only have junk removal friends, but that's what they're doing. They're connecting and scrolling. When you run an ad, they are not actively looking like Angi's, Thumbtack, Yelp, and Google. Completely different ball game. So when it comes to Facebook, it's all about the offer. These are not hot leads. Think about it. They're not searching for junk removal. So these leads are cold initially. Then they see your offer. So the number one rule that I have for Facebook is the offer needs to be incredibly clear. It's you and your crew or you and your family in front of a truck with trash in the truck, or even just a picture of trash and you smiling like a garage clean out and you smiling and a bunch of trash and making it incredibly clear what the offer is. I also recommend being clear, like if you guys need your junk, we do attic clean outs, garage clean, put it in the description. You can type a long description too. Facebook will shrink it. But the point is the offer is important. Because if you confuse them and mislead them, you're just gonna waste money. But if the offer is clear and you get a message, which I do suggest you can do Facebook form leads, which yes, you'll get higher quality customers from Facebook form leads. We're just gonna talk about the very simple, they message you on Facebook. So the difference now is, okay, you've caught their attention with an offer. They message you on Facebook. They are now from cold to warm, but they were not looking for junk removal, which then leads me to nurturing. To get these people, price is always gonna be a factor. That's why I'm actually very clear in my pricing. When I show like some trash, I'll put, starts at 150, maybe your quarter load's 345, you can say running a 299 special, then show a relevant trash pile that's to that 299. Make the offer clear, guys. It'll go a long way. And if it's just you and your family or you and your crew in front of the truck, usually get a free estimate, and then you can nurture these leads and give them an estimate. Facebook's a little bit different. When you talk to them on the phone, you can try to get their phone number through Facebook, talk to them and use your charisma to be like, hey, let me come see the pile. No harm, no foul. I'm not gonna charge you to come out. If you like the price, take it then and there. What I've learned with Facebook is if you run Facebook ads and you start getting these messages, some people will convert right away, but at the end of the day, you have to talk with them. It's annoying. That's why I had a VA from the Philippines do it for me. The customers that month that you advertised for and that they message you that month, you might not get them until next month or the following month. But then you run ads the following month, the customers from the previous month start to convert. These new customers on the second month, they're not gonna convert to the next month. So this is a compounding game and a nurturing game. Very powerful. Facebook is probably your best way to do this. If you pimp out your Facebook profile and you get 5,000 friends and you boost posts, reach their friends of friends and add people that are in local communities around you and max out your friends list, you start making posts on your feed of your business and you and your family and just looking human and professional. At the same time, you can then start boosting posts and it will do you wonders. You run the ads and then you advertise in a radius near you and you select the demographics of male and female, 35 and up, and you could even target like real estate professionals. You can put all kinds of different targets, but I target everybody just age 35 and up and just run that broad. Run that ad, boost that post to just 35 and up and just make sure the offer's clear. The beautiful thing about Facebook, guys, is when they click the message button and they message you, that lead may cost anywhere from $3 to $15, but that is very cheap in comparison. And yes, the leads might not convert as well initially, but Facebook is a passive game and a compounding game. It is a game that you have to play, but it works very well, and it's gonna probably be your cheapest lead source. You can spend as little as $5 a day and get results. And if you decide to boost a post, make sure you boost the same post over and over so you get tons of shares and tons of likes and tons of comments. When you get negative comments, just delete them and keep boosting that same post. That's the easiest way to get into Facebook ads, is just to boost posts, the same post over and over until you're comfortable running an actual Facebook campaign. So Facebook, cheap, easy. There's no reason you shouldn't do Facebook. Honestly, here's the thing. I was doing good with Google ads, so after the first month of Yelp, me losing money, I decided to just screw it because I didn't want to deal with message leads, and we're gonna get into that in a second. So Yelp is very targeted, so they're looking for junk removal, and Yelp gives you an option of turning message leads on or off, which means can they message you, which is really annoying to me, even more annoying than Facebook messages, because at least Facebook messages, they're just messaging you. They want your business. They saw your ad. Yelp, on the other hand, it's like Thumbtack in a sense. They message you and then the lead is sold. This is what drives me crazy, is there's all these paid features for businesses on Yelp where you can pay to be notified of other leads in the area or to be given leads. So if I go search up Jedi Junk Removal on Yelp and I message Jedi Junk Removal, Yelp still sells your lead, even though they contacted you, to 5 other people, or actually even more, because I think if all of the businesses in your area are paying for that feature where you get access to nearby leads, it's free game for everybody. So Yelp is also a race to the bottom. However, they are hot leads. And I turned off message leads to experiment for a month, and I spent like $2,000 on just phone calls. I got a lot of spam calls, and I really don't know how much of the spam calls I was charged for or refunded, because they do try to filter out spam calls, but lost money on just phone calls only. I think if you're going to run Yelp, and I've talked to people who run Yelp successfully, somebody here in Los Angeles who runs Yelp, message leads. And he says he gets a 3x return on his Yelp, but like Thumbtack, race to the bottom, negotiate on price, gotta respond fast. You're battling with a lot of other people, but it works. You just gotta play the Yelp game. But I want to give you this word of advice. Call only did not work on Yelp. I think people on Yelp want to message. And that's something you could test out. I wanted to try Yelp again since I started having my VAs who were taking my phone calls and they were nurturing my Facebook leads. Then get a new VA to specifically handle message leads on Yelp, message leads on Facebook. But I didn't end up doing that because I ended up selling the company, as you guys saw in this video here, if you want to see why I sold the company. And also the review system sucks. They have this AI, their system detects which reviews are real. All of the reviews I've ever had on Yelp are real, but they think half of them are fake, so they only show like 20 of my reviews, even though I have way more Yelp reviews. It's really annoying. Yelp reviews are a pain in the ass, but you can make money on Yelp. I don't know what the current cost per lead on average is with Yelp, but I do know it's cheaper than Google Ads. And Yelp is difficulty easy. It is mildly expensive. At the end of the day, Angi's, Thumbtack, Facebook, Yelp, they all work. You have to play the game the right way. Remember this. You need to be a human with good intention. You need to sound friendly on the phone, and you need to respond fast. You need to be good at sales. And this isn't difficult. We're not selling crazy, complicated stuff here. You're just trying to get there to give them a price. And if they want a price over the phone, give them a range and say, hey, I'll hook you up. I'll give you a veterans and a seniors discount, but I gotta see it in person. Not gonna charge you to come out. Say whatever you gotta say to get the job, okay? Especially when you're fighting against 3 other people for a fucking lead. When you're on Google.com and a consumer is searching, it's gonna say Google guaranteed, but to us business owners, it's Google local service ads. Requires you to have a EIN number, so you have to have a legit company. It requires general liability insurance that you have to send to them, and it requires a background check. So if you are a felon, I don't think you're gonna get approved. It took me a month to get approved. Some people get approved faster. I would start the process anyways, even if you're not gonna run them. Get your account approved and just don't activate your ads in case one day you do want to use them. Start the process because it could take up to a month to get approved. And how local service ads works is, funny enough, it's much different than Google Ads. You get a couple switches that you can toggle. In junk removal, it's gonna say appliance and donation and clean outs, and I forget all the options, but there's all these switches you can toggle on and off of what you want to show up for. But here's the shitty thing. If people type in free junk removal, your Google local service ad will show up. Google refuses to make you not show up for the keyword free junk removal. And it is very frustrating. However, there is a way around it. When you get that phone call and they think it's free, you go, oh, no, sorry, we do not provide that service. Hang up immediately. The thing is if you continue talking to them, Google will not refund you. So what I started doing is saying, sorry, we don't provide that service. And they go, oh, okay. And I hang up, and then I can dispute the call immediately. I then call them back and try to convert them into a paying customer. Whether it works or not, after that, you go dispute the lead. However, it is the easiest way to start getting leads, but it is expensive, and it's even more expensive than Google Ads. You set a weekly budget, okay? Not a daily budget like Google Ads, you set a weekly budget, and it's by the phone call. And I set mine to, more leads. I wanted the most leads, so I would be willing to pay the most. You have Google Guaranteed, local service ads up here, and then normal Google Ads below it. So they're only rotating 2 Google Guaranteed people at a time. So I wanted to show up most of the time, so I was willing to pay more phone calls. And I paid up to $90 per phone call. I think it averaged out to $75 per phone call. I would close 50% of my phone calls. You don't close over every phone call. So if you do the math, if I close 1 of the 2, I get in front of the customer at $150 because it took me 2 phone calls, $75. So my customer acquisition cost was $150. So you damn near better make sure your average job size is $500 because that's a high as fuck customer acquisition cost. However, there were some months where it went as low as 60, but I was balancing around $70 in some days, weeks, months. I saw sometimes as high as 90. This was a few months ago. So my theory is this: Google local service ads are so easy that more people are giving up on Google ads because it's complicated and it's difficult and people are losing money in Google ads, so they go over to Google local service ads. Naturally, supply and demand, basic economics, it drives the price up because now we're all competing. All of us business owners are trying to bid against each other for the easiest platform to get calls. There's a lot of shitty things with Google local service too that a lot of people complain about is, you'll get the single item calls and then you're like, oh, I just paid $50, $60, $70, $80, $90 for that phone call and it was a single item and they didn't want me to come out. And it's a rough game to play. Some people will toggle the appliance removal switch off because they think mostly appliance removal generally comes out to single item removals. At the end of the day, the ROI for me was a little bit lower than Google Ads. So I was probably averaging my ROI 2.5 to 3x with Google Local Services. Some people have a lot better luck. I was still profitable, even paying employees and workers' comp and payroll taxes and insurance, but I got way more business from Google Ads and way better conversion rate and better quality from Google Ads. But Google Local Services is a good place to try, but just remember, it is expensive. Easy, but expensive. That's how Google Local Services works, guys. I have countless videos on Google Ads, so I'm not gonna talk too much about Google Ads here, but I'm gonna tell you that it's difficulty hard, it's expensive, but it's going to be your one true continuous source of continuous leads. This will be something like once you get it set up and you break through the barrier of the learning phase and optimization and getting your conversion tracking and Google's algorithm, and you break through that barrier of 90 days and your ads are on autopilot, it's kind of like set it and forget it. I had not touched my ads after the first 3-ish months of kind of getting them configured. It was just now daily budget. Some months are going to be worse than others. Some months are going to be amazing. At the end of the year, I had a 4.1x return on my money. There's also repeats and referrals in there, so it's a little bit less, but those repeats and referrals were from Google Ads clients. I am building my repeat and referrals off of all the Google Ads clients coming in. So I just kind of left Google Ads running forever. Google Ads is much more sophisticated. You pick your keywords, you pick your ad copy, you create your landing page, you can set up conversion tracking, and most of the phone calls you get from Google Ads are people who want it same day or next day. That's probably mostly a good thing, because when my business was solely relying on Google Ads, I was only ever booked out 1 day in advance, maybe 2 days. I'd have some jobs scattered out in the future. You know, there's weeks where I had tons of phone calls and I'd have like a solid next couple days booked. But most people is same day and next day. When you're relying on Google Ads, your schedule will never be pre-booked into the future. That comes from other ad sources and marketing other ways, you know, building relationships with people, networking, in-person sales, yard signs, Facebook leads, Thumbtack. Building up your schedule and being pre-booked in the future is a lot more difficult with just running on Google Ads, because usually Google Ads people want it now, which is crazy to think. The entitlement, right? I literally would get so many phone calls. I need you here 1 hour. I'm like, who the fuck do you think I am? I think you should do every marketing tactic and build up a foundation and a lot of money in the bank before you get into Google Ads. But if you're going to run this empire, or if you're going to run this business and you want constant lead source you can rely on, it's gonna be Google. Google will be king. I mean, the goal should be to get Google Ads and Google Local Service Ads, both of them running. That's what I was doing. Depending on what kind of business you're trying to build, some people want to build a 10-truck empire. Some people are okay with just running a small business with them on the truck. Some people want to get a couple trucks running and then just get off the truck. Depending on where you're trying to get, will determine what lead sources you need. If you're trying to get to a 10-truck operation, you will need to utilize all of the lead sources. Angi's, Thumbtack, Facebook, Yelp, Google Local Services, Google Ads, Bing, Nextdoor, all of them. I hit in my company 1.1 million my first year and almost 1.1 million my second year. I was capped. There was no more I can get from, well, actually, no, there was in Los Angeles, I was able to crank my daily budget. So there's a little more room for probably to add another truck. But if I wanted to get more business, I would have to start looking to Yelp aggressively, Facebook aggressively, and Thumbtack aggressively. Google Ads was on autopilot. So I could have started really cranking down and launching new locations with Yelp leads, Facebook, master one of them so it's on autopilot. Get a VA to handle all of the incoming Yelp leads and closing those. Get a VA to close all of the Facebook leads. A VA that just sits there and responds immediately. But anyways, if you're just trying to build a sustainable business where you bring in 300K, depending on what your population is, a couple of these lead sources might be all you need, and maybe just getting out there doing some in-person sales and closing some commercial contracts, which you can check out that video I just posted. But if you're trying to hit the $1 million gross revenue and you want that number and you want to build something bigger, Google Ads will not do it for you alone. It only did it for me because I live in LA. There's enough volume, enough people out here and enough search volume, people looking for junk removal. So I was able to spend a lot of money on Google Ads to reach that number. And I was also profitable with my Google Ads because I knew how to do them. I hope that helps on all of the lead platforms or ways to generating leads. Those are the big 6. I'm gonna go over all the other ones later in another video talking about the smaller ones like networks, Bing, Nextdoor. I really hope this helps. And as always, I leave you guys with this. Success is often covered in dirt, but so was gold at one point. Toodles. Whoosh. Let's tell you my story real quick. I've always been a software engineer my entire life. I started programming when I was 10 years old, but I started with HTML on AOL 3.0, and they would teach you basic HTML tags. So I was learning this shit at 10 or 11 years old. Then I just slowly progressed and started building more websites, learning PHP, learning databases like MySQL and all that stuff. The last app that I was working on was a travel app. I raised $150,000 from investors, and that was actually right before COVID hit. It was a travel app meant to travel with friends across the world, the globe, and they didn't even want you to hang out with your family. I kept telling the investors, it's gotta go away someday. I have the app semi-ready to go. You know, we wanted to start doing beta testing, but nobody wanted to fly, let alone pay for this new experimental travel app that I was trying to show to the world. Me and my lady had our second kid, newborn, and we're burning down to our last few $1,000s. And it's getting to a point where I'm like, we need money now. So one of my friends I was talking to, and he's like, dude, I used to do junk removal. I looked into it, I Googled it, I found Sonoma Strong, $1,000 a day, Steve Conroy, $1,000 a day, $2,000 a day, and I was like, $1,000 a day. Started with Thumbtack, started with Craigslist, got to Google Ads probably by month 1 or like the end of month 1, month 2, I think. Went from 200 a day to 500 a day to 1,000 a day. From there, it's just been incredible. This is a great industry. If you're stuck and you need to figure out how to make some extra money, you can grow this into a very profitable business. You can do very well for yourself. I'm doing very well for myself. It takes a lot of work outside of the labor part, the marketing part, the hiring part. Everything is hard. It has potential. It is a very easy-ish, predictable path to make money. The service industry is so much easier to get into because it requires just your time, and everybody's gonna need this service, okay? You trade your time for money. It doesn't matter if it's landscaping, moving, junk removal. There are so many home services that you can get into that don't require a skill. People need this home service. So getting into the services business is a very safe, predictable, slow growth path, but very doable. That is the beautiful thing about junk removal. So guys, if you want to check out the course and you want your A to Z on how to build a junk removal business, check it out in the link below.